watching the Policy Times, world's first policy and development media. Since last almost 4.5 years, Policy Times is bringing to you the innovators, inventors, or people with unique, ideas who are contributing to the society. Now, plastic waste is something, if actions are not taken, then the whole earth can be buried by plastic waste. It has that kind of, impact, the kind of use that we have. If the proper actions are not taken, then society are going to suffer immensely. On the other hand, if plastic wastes can be managed well, this brings immense benefits. And we have Mr. Ritvik Rao, who is also the co-founder and director of Sampurnearth Environment Solutions. Sampurnearth is trying to bring unique solutions. We will hear from them how Sampurnearth is bringing solution to India's long-lasting challenge of managing plastic waste. I'll request to kindly give a brief intro of yourself.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Ritvik. I'm Ritvik Rao, one of the co-founders of Sampurnearth Environment Solutions. And just to the journey, we both shared the same journey. Just to add to it, whatever we are doing, it's still in a very nascent stage. A lot more needs to be done as a company and as a nation and a planet before we satisfactorily combat this problem of plastics.
Let us start the discussion. The first question that I want to ask, the policies that India has adopted, how that can lead to make India a plastic waste neutral nation. How do you see the current policy framework leading India to become a plastic waste neutral nation?
See, the policies that are there, that is just one part of the whole exercise that needs to be done. The initiatives, the start that the government has taken, it's commendable. Making the polluters pay and making them responsible for the plastic and the waste that they are generating and sending it out on the market. But at the same time, it needs to be a collective responsibility of not just the corporates and the government, but each and every one of us as an individual as well, because it's a joint initiative. Unless each and every one of us is a part of the whole thing, we will not succeed in this. Pointing fingers, and this is not my job, this is the government's job, this is the corporate job, is not going to take us very far. And so the starts have been good, the intent is there, but still there's a huge lacuna in terms of implementation on ground. See, it's a very, very, talking about just about India, it's a very big country. There's the whole government machinery is too big, and for all of them to come on the same page for anything requires a lot of time and effort. And the EPR initiatives in India, EPR as in Extended Producers Responsibility, and the whole waste management, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan as a whole in India is still very nascent. If you look at European countries, this whole thing has been running there for our last 25, 30 years. And that's where they've reached a point that they are importing waste to recycle. So, see, we have to understand that the initiatives are new. It would take a lot of time for us as a population and government to understand the whole process, get in line, streamline the whole thing, and tackle the problem more efficiently. Yeah, that's what
Thank you. Thank you. What is Sampurnearth doing, or what are the projects or good practices Sampurnearth has been taking towards achieving plastic waste neutrality in India?
Okay, so see, we primarily work in 3 segments. one being biogas, other being the O&M projects that we take around dry waste and the wet waste, and third being dry waste operations, wherein we do collections from right from bulk waste generators. We do collections on the behalf of corporates under their EPR programs. There's a strong awareness component associated with all the projects that we do, be it like we see our main vision is to map all the stakeholders wherever, whenever we are implementing a project, uh, be it the consumers, the corporate, the government, and the informal, the sector of waste management that is primarily doing the most of the work under recycling and plastic collections in the country. So, and then, so apart from EPR, now we are in also into setting up of material recovery facilities, dry waste centers, where we get the material collected, pre-process it, do better segregations, baling, and then from this year onwards, we are also getting into recycling ourselves, because unless the whole thing is circular, somewhere just doing EPR and sending the plastic for either burning or just sending into a recycler and not really knowing what is happening with it at the end of the day did not make much sense to us. So we would always wanted to ourselves ensure that the whole process is circular, and we are doing it ourselves. So uh, granulation of plastics and going one step further, product manufacturing ourselves is something that we are doing right now and seriously looking to expand in the coming years. Yeah, and as I said, social inclusion of the informal waste pickers, the scrap dealers, the informal waste market as a whole is something we are really looking into. Wherever we set up projects, our models are primarily based around forming of cooperatives and self-help groups of these people and giving out the contracts to local people who are working there, rather than getting our workforce from the cities and other places, so that they are empowered to, like, economically, and they have better working conditions, and we also have a better chance to succeeding in a new geography.
Yeah, so how do we make plastic more relevant, or plastic usage or plastic waste more usable for the society, so that we don't avoid plastic, we just make better use of the waste that is coming out of it?
Yeah, see, as I said, it's all about how we handle any material. See, today it is plastic, tomorrow we come up with a replacement, and we'll end up misusing it the same way we have misused plastic. So it's in the way and the structures that we build for consumption of materials. I think most of the points have already been covered by Devartha. It's internal responsibility and a structure that needs to be set and followed in every step. You can't be like we are in India. Convenience wins over proper set systems. So that will not work, and yeah, responsibility at a personal level and at a national level is only required for getting us out of this.
Thank you so much,
From my end.
Ritvik. Right. Thank you so much, Ritvik and Devartha, for sharing your views on key important topics that we try to address. And as Ritvik and both Devartha shared, that achieving plastic waste neutrality needs a collective effort. And so is addressing the issue of informal workforce in the waste management. So, we should not see informal workforce as just one job or activity. We should see this as a movement. So if we can address this as a movement, we can achieve what we want to achieve, and both can be achieved together. So thank you. Keep watching the Policy Times.